Okay, so we are back playing more Punch-Out. This time around, we're going to actually discuss the actual game. We are going to go into it. So, we'll replay some couple fights here. So let's actually discuss the game this time around. See if it still holds up in 2020. Now, this game released in 1987. It's a very, I mean, at this point, it's old game. It's older than I am. And so, let's discuss the color palette here, you know. It's basic. There's nothing too advanced here, you know, for the time. You know, it's a colorful game for the time, but right now, compared to the majority of the games in 2020, nah, it just doesn't hold up. The only thing that, well, I don't know, graphics-wise, yeah, it doesn't hold up, but for me, I'm not a graphics guy. You know, if I think the gameplay is wonderful, that overrides the graphics. Now, obviously, in 2020, this game doesn't hold up graphics-wise. In 1987, this game must have been beautiful. Because look at it. There's not much that I would... Ooh, I got tagged there. There isn't much that I would really change, to be honest with you. Like, it really is a beautiful game for its time. I think even in the 90s, it probably held up pretty darn good, too, with the graphics. And it comes with, like, iconic characters like Little Mac, like Glass Joe, which I'm fighting right now. It's iconic in the gameplay and in the characters. You don't know too much about, you know, Glass Joe, really. You just know he's there, he's been knocked out like 100 times, and he's your first fight. Now, I gassed myself out there for a reason. I wanted to display a game mechanic that this was probably the first time this game mechanic was even introduced. The stamina system. In this game, there's a stamina system which comes to fighting. Yeah, it's your health, it's your life, but one heart gets taken down for like every time you hit someone. You know, well, it's going down when I get hit, but it should, like, when I do a few punches and bunches, it should go down as well. No? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Completely ignore that point. But what I'm trying to display here, there is a stamina system in this game. You clearly get tired when you throw punches and bunches, and that's something that wasn't really displayed in any game prior to this, or many games even after this game, you know. It wasn't until like the modern day fight nights, the EA UFC, and UFC games in general, that stamina system was even really a thing. Even in the pro wrestling games in the 90s, like the WCW, NWO vs. the World, No Mercy, it wasn't really a huge factor there. In 1987, they had this stamina system. And I think that is absolutely amazing, and it's a game-changing mechanic, and it essentially started off everything. If you want to go back to starting things off, sports fighting games. I say sports for a reason, because fighting games, they existed, you know. They did exist at a certain time. I can't really name many because I'm not really a huge fighting game fan. But, you know, it was different to, say, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat in the sense that this wasn't like a 2D side-scrolling fighting game, you know? It was like a little bit, maybe not more to it, it's simpler. This is the first successful big boxing game. I want to say it's the first boxing game. I could be wrong on that, I don't think I am, but I don't know. This really set the standard in boxing games, and it's something that holds a special place in my heart because of the stamina system, because of the game mechanics. You know, it teaches you the counter punching, you know, and that, like, defense is sometimes the best offense, and that's what it does in this game. You know, to find your time and just sort of wait it out, dodge, and boom, attack there, you know. it's very rare, like, just to go on the offense gets you anywhere on this game, you know? It's more a case of the majority of it is all counter punches. So that's the game mechanics. I think are very tight in this game. There's patterns to every single fighter that once you learn it, the game becomes a breeze, you know, but you need to learn it. The difficulty aspect of this game is definitely there. So before I carry on with that, in between the rounds, they give you advice on how to win the fight too, which is amazing. Because back then, you'd have to look at the manuals to have a little hint on what to do next. In this game, it shows you in between the rounds, kind of like a corner man would. It tells you what to do, so it's fantastic. Another great game mechanic there from 1987. Now, to go back to talking about the difficulty of this game, the patterns in each fight, once you get them nailed down, it's not an overly difficult game. It's just working out the patterns and making sure to time it correctly. And that's what majority of the games back then were. Just, you know, timers and working out what works and what doesn't work. Now, let's talk about the sound. If you just listen, so I took a purpose pause there. If you just listen to the game, it's a basic soundtrack. It isn't nothing major to it. The sound effects, they're very basic too. But it does its job. It does its job. It gets you feeling like you're sort of winning the fights and you're in the boxing ring at that time. I think compared to modern day, you know, there's a lot that it could be improved tremendously. The same as the graphics could be improved tremendously. Like, the graphics are great for its time, but to live up to now, it just doesn't do it, you know, which is expected because this game is like, what is it, 33 years old? It's an old game now. And my big pet peeve of this game is that the image of the guy you fight there isn't the guy who you're fighting in front of you, you know? It doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't look like the same guy, you know? It's, I don't know. It just doesn't look like the same guy, and that bothers me somewhat. But as you can see, like, I've done like 3 fights now, and I'm already at the title one, and after this is the major circuit. So it's not it's a short game. I could probably complete it, probably within an hour if I was actually good at this game. And this is like boss tactics now. So I can almost never dodge all these punches. Because I don't know, finding the timing is just, it's not there for me. But I know people who can, you know? Like, it's all about timing this game. It's a wonderful game. Like, I could play this all day and just not particularly get bored of it. It really is just that good of a game. Punch-Out, it definitely holds up to me. And I will take that to my grave. Like, no one's gonna tell me differently. This game is the pioneer of all boxing games, a pioneer of all sports fighting games. This was the original. I don't think there's been a game as iconic as Punch-Out in the sports fighting world. You know, you had Ready to Rumble, you had obviously the UFC games, you got Fight Night, but honestly, I don't think any of them are as iconic as Punch-Out is. We're gonna go ahead and finish up this fight. Given Fast Like Only Stunt, again, giving you another hint to it, you know, giving you another hint onto how to beat this guy and how to knock him out. Now, I've recorded this video. This is the second time I've recorded this video. The first time my gameplay was far better, but I didn't actually discuss the game. So, this is what I'm doing right now. We are discussing and just showing you how well the game holds up. Like, honestly, I still think I am not a graphics guy. Personally, I prefer gameplay over graphics pretty much all of the time. But this still looks good to me, and I think that's crazy. Like, it does still look good. Ah, man. Cannot time that at all. But yeah, the mechanics are all here. Button mashing to get back up. It's the classic boxing game that I think is just dear in my heart. It holds up. It's a fantastic game. I would not want it to be remastered. I think this game is timeless. I think this game, it shouldn't be touched again. You know, this was a golden goose, a golden egg. It's just such an amazing game. I love it so much. And there's a lot of good progression in this game, because after this, you eventually go to fight the major circuits, you know? And again, they're displaying the stamina management there. It all plays a factor. Every single mechanic in this game seems important, you know? And I think that's what sometimes games miss these days, you know? That sometimes they get a little bit lazy in their mechanics of the games, or like for some reason you can do the same thing over and over and over, and for some reason it won't do what it should be doing. In this game, everything you do makes a difference, you know? Like, I'm probably going to get knocked out because I haven't been able to time his little barrage of punches when he does his little shuffle there. But everything else I've been able to do. It's just that little shuffle that when he steps back and does his shuffle and comes straight at me with all those barrages of punches, I can't time it. The one thing I like about this game as well is it isn't necessarily a free knockdown rule and you're out, you know? This is very much just... See, I could be out now, then this could be my third knockdown. But this isn't like a free knockout rule and you're done. Look at that. I got knocked out. I didn't get knocked out in the last one. But anyway, I still believe this game holds up. Look at the little camera flashes. I love that. It's cute. The little Mario ref. It's brilliant. But this game is great. It still holds up in 2020. If you get the chance, don't watch it. If you get the chance, play this bad boy. It still holds up. It's brilliant. It's amazing. There we go. Thank you guys for watching. You know, there's going to be more of this retro content on YouTube. If you do want to catch out some more modern games, check out my Twitch stream. It'll be linked in the description. I'm live 3 times a week between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. I start the streams. Go for about 3 or so hours. But my socials and my Discord's all in the description below. If you like the video, sweet. If you don't like the video, I'm sorry. I'll improve. But the Twitch stream is linked below. Thank you for watching. Tune in next week. We'll playing a whole new retro game. And we'll be reliving the childhood. Thank you for watching, guys.